Bitcoin. So let's do the weekly outlook. First of all, I was gonna speak about the value establishments, right? So in terms of a value, what you want to be looking at. So if we zoom out, we have currently established this range. So essentially, you have the lows at about 91, 92, and you have the highs at about 101, 102, around that area. And the value establishment is that overall you're currently building value up here. So yes, we're above the value area high, but it can be accepted. However, my point of view is that this value is still being established. If you want to take a pull from here, you're way outside of the VAH. If you take a pull, let's say from the more recent price action, let's say from this low, from 26th of November, the VAH comes a bit higher, and the VAL comes into that same region as the 786 and the weekly naked point of control and the weekly level. So yeah, this value in my opinion is still being established. If you want to use the fixed range to the current place, you want to be waiting a bit for that. I think it's a bit too early to have a clearly defined VAH and VAL because the value is still being established, right? But you're currently seeing that the distribution curve is very simple. So yes, it is a range, and how do you trade the range? Any deviation outside of value area high or value area low is up for a trade, right? So you trade the extremes. An extreme is VAH, a bit outside of it, VAL, a bit outside of it, but it's not 100% defined. So yeah, just because the value is being established. Next thing which I was going to talk about is the levels, value, and the market profile. So yeah, this pretty much summarizes what I just said. Sideliners at the moment. In terms of a sidelined, you have some people which are sidelined at the moment. So if this starts to break above 103, 104, generally you're gonna see people chasing it to high prices, or perhaps aping into this weekly or naked point of control. However, if you take a look at the order flow, the way we came to the upside, yeah, so we came to the upside with huge increase in the open interest, very big positive delta happening in the first, I would say, 1 hour and a half of New York session. But yeah, if you take a look at the low, New York open 230, take a look at the pretty much the high 345, 330, so pretty much the CME open. So yeah, the first hour pretty much of the New York session, this one you got that big spike in the open interest and delta. Stats for January. So yeah, in terms of stats for January tends to be a bit more choppy month. It's not that much for breakout, and generally you tend to test the levels which were created into 1st of January. So what I mean by this is, if you take a look on the monthly time frame, you can actually tap into this fair value gap, yeah, and then close neutral or bullish. As an example, let's say the previous January, you can see we wicked up pretty much the highs and the lows. If you take a look at previous January's 2022 was a bit more clean downside. 2021, yeah, you can see it whipped to the upside, then it came back down. So let me just take a look at something else. Take a look on the daily. Let me just come back into this section. I just want to see something. So yeah, the yearly open was tapped once, twice, yeah, so it got tapped twice in 2021. So in 2025 it is possible to do the same thing. So the yearly open is 93.3, but any levels which in my opinion are gonna get hit this month, because in my personal opinion we're not ready yet to break out of this because of the stats for January. Also, if you take a look at any month which starts, so November we traded down, then we reversed. October, same thing, right? So we traded down in the first 5 to 10 days of the month, then we traded up. So yeah, any move that happens into the first 5 to 10 days of the month tends to get reversed, and then you revisit that. So you take a look at December, same thing, right? You move down, then you move up. At the moment we have been just moving up, no move down. So yeah, in my opinion we just gotta have that move down. I don't know when it will happen. I don't know if this is the local top, or maybe we go a bit higher, or maybe we even come up and take the all-time high and then we move down. I don't really know, but we're gonna find out. The big boys are back. T-Wapping starts. Say we're getting over leveraged. So yeah, I posted this on the 6th of January in the morning, pretty much before Sailor announced the buys. So yeah, he's getting over leverage clearly. In the long term, this is not gonna play out nice. What I mean by T-Wapping starts and big boys are back. If you take a look at ETF flows from yesterday, you pretty much had one of the biggest buys for the past 2 months. That's why probably you had that big increase in the open interest in the delta. But yeah, yesterday I believe they bought like 250 M, and the average is usually about 110, 120. So yeah, what is set in terms of yearly prediction, that increase in the ETF market cap from 100 billion to 200 billion most likely is gonna happen. Of course, the way this happens is with T-Wapping, right? Which I'm not saying they're gonna start buying right now. I mean today during news session or tomorrow, but yeah, it's just a T-Wap which is just average the price. And we're gonna see how this happens. But yeah, generally the big boys are back. News this month we do have in terms of news. Let me just open up Forex Factory. Tomorrow we have FOMC, which is gonna be a bit more crucial. We're gonna see what happens there. We have the CPI on the 15th of January and we have the Trump inauguration on the 20th. So yeah, I do think that most likely we're gonna tend to chop around and not break out clearly because there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. But yeah, we just trade the charts, which at the moment, in my opinion, says chop around, don't break out yet. Of course, we can move up, take this high, and then move down. But yeah, be ready for whatever happens. I'm just saying that we're gonna chop around most likely. Ethereum chart update. So yeah, this is the current Ethereum chart. We took out this high. We did break above this VWAP. Once it break out, we move to the next level, which was clearly this one. We're currently struggling a bit, but any move down into the VWAP from the December high, probably move down here, and then from here we can look for longs, or if this gets lost, you can look into 3300 level. So yeah, these two levels are like my point of interest. Of course, it can happen like move up, take this out, and then move down. At the current place where we are, it's a no man's land. So if you want to take a short, you want to take it either up here, taking out this wick, the same thing as Bitcoin did, take out the wick, move down, or you can enter now and you have like a wide stop loss, but it clearly diminishes the risk reward you're gonna take. But yeah, if we come into this and we start like continuing with this slow grind to the upside, it can generally move up above this. But yeah, in terms of a bigger resistance is this area between 3.7 and 3.8. Once this gets breaking, I don't see a reason why we don't go above like 5k. But yeah, in terms of high time frame, I believe by the end of this month, if what I think is gonna happen, around the 20th, between 14 and 20, you want to be looking for the local bottom to shoot that thing up. If January tends to chop around. But yeah, at the moment there's a lot of people looking at this level because it's like super obvious, so that's why I don't put a lot of importance on this one. I put more importance on this one because it's less visible. But yeah, coming and taking out this week, it's also a possibility. I don't think it's gonna happen because at the moment it's being way too far, and also the structure doesn't say that. Like we have high, and so we look for low, high, low, then continuation. But I just don't think we're kind of ready yet for that to happen. The more important thing is what happened with Ethereum Bitcoin, which at the moment continues to struggle. It just continues to do like high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So yeah, why not this just to be like low and then a lower low into this highlighted zone into February and then shoot up, because at the moment it's just not showing any signs of trend. It's just like downtrend, clear downtrend, right? So yeah, I don't know if this will continue, but at the moment I'm not seeing any bullish signs of Ethereum Bitcoin. Yes, it defended that weak level, but gave like a small bounce during Christmas holidays and just stopped out on 6th of January. So you on let's say on the high term time frame, if you take a look on the daily, yes, this does look like a W pattern, I agree, but at the same time on the low term time frame you continue to show like signs of weakness. Also, if you take a look on the trend, it tried to take it once to flip it, didn't do it. Now attempts again, but still didn't do it. So Yeah, it's continuous struggle for Ethereum to move into a bullish trend. So maybe Bitcoin dominance is gonna make a new high. Yes, it has flipped the trend to bearish at the moment, but still. The dollar versus the euro. The dollar versus the euro, if you take a look at DXY, actually euro USD, it's clear range, right? So we have a low, sweep of the lows, fair auction, SFP, the SFP. So that's why I'm long here. It's just a clear range. At the moment, I do think that this is just deviation. If you take a look at the DXY, it came into the high term time frame OT. So yeah, in my opinion, we're preparing to nuke down into filling that Trump gap. That's my thoughts about it. Trump coming in, Trump is gonna come in and we're gonna see what happens then. But I think until then, on the risk markets as BTC, NQ, Nvidia, you wanna tend to chop around, especially with the seasonality of January. And then in February and March, you're up for the races. How to recognize high time frame strength and weaknesses. Maybe this has to be on a different lesson, but if I have to simplify it on high term time frame, one of the things which I would use as is the daily trend, right? So here, as you can see here, it got defended and then you make an impulse higher. So coming into that daily trend right now to test it one more time is gonna definitely the place to look for longs. But yeah, if you want to look at signs of strengths or weaknesses, definitely 2652 EMA. It is gonna tell you when you're gonna chop around, defend the trend. So yeah, as you can see here, you kind of lost that trend. You tried to reclaim it, then you lost it here in June, and then you just went for that chop season. Then in October, you kind of reclaimed it, moved above test, move up. But yeah, at the moment you're doing kind of the same pattern, right? So where you tend to defend that first time, then it gets to be tested one more time. Yeah, so this is the area. But how to know a sign of weakness or strength on the high term time frame? I would say value. But I'll make a different lesson for this one because it's a bit more complicated and I don't want to simplify that much. NQ chart update. So yeah, NQ is in a very nice area because you have lots of naked point of control. So you have up here a weekly naked, you have down here a weekly naked. So these two levels, if we tend to continue ranging, and if we take a look at the volume profile from December, I believe you have some kind of confluence. Yeah, so you can see the value very low is kind of the same place as the weekly naked point of control, but yeah, it's just a range in my opinion. You did sweep this low, but you left like a poor low. So it can even move down to there, but I just want to mention these levels, this weekly, and this weekly, because these are nice levels. I'm not gonna make any type of predictions, to be honest with you, because I don't see a very high probability ones. It's just like here you have single prints, you have a poor low, single prints, poor low. It's just a mess, right? Just after 20th of December, it just created that mess. So I don't see any high probability trades right now on NQ, so I want to wait on that. But on BTC, however, just to give you guys an update, just want to mention these things. But yeah, I believe this is the weekly outlook. At the moment, we're in a zone where you want to be topping out and potentially creating the weekly high Monday, Tuesday, and then we haven't moved down into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Friday have like some kind of a move up. But I believe January is gonna tend to be a choppy place. So the previous January you had that ETF news, quite big, so you chopped around a lot. Yeah, so you had to use like wider stop loss. Just that seasonality from the previous January is kind of setting in at the moment as well, I believe. Yeah, this is the previous January. You can see a lot of deviations, deviation here, deviation down here, deviation up here, deviation down here. So it just like was the month of choppiness. Even though you had the ETF news, it was just like a chop season. So you're not guaranteed you're not gonna get this right now. Yeah, so a lot of people are talking about the breakout, but I don't think it's ready yet. Of course, we're gonna see how it happens and how it plays out. I'm gonna keep you guys updated in the Discord, and thank you.